welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. Thank you for spending some time with me again today. Really excited to get going with our Christmas journal. So I have a little video put together just for some of the things that you might be looking for when you're going to join and follow along with what I'm doing. Now, you know I'm going to use my own Happy Holidays kit. It is available on in my Etsy store. It's a collection. It has journal pages, ephemera sheets, it's got a add-on kit, and I also have some holiday sentiments. All right, so you want to if you want to follow along, you're welcome to use my kit. Of course, any Christmas kit that you have you can use, of course. You don't have to use a Christmas kit at all. You can use a floral kit or any theme you like. So follow along with the tutorials. We'll be making little projects every week, so you can follow along and put your journal together along with me. Right, so I'm going to start and just chat to those of you, because I know lots of people want to sort of gather their goodies together, and that's what this is about today. I've also got a little project to share with you at the end that's going to take us 5 minutes to put together, but it will be featured in our journal, so I thought I'd do it today. Right, so as a start, I'm going to show you the actual journal pages that I have, I'm going to use in the journal itself, so that you guys can get collecting. Now, this is not necessarily the order I'm going to use them in, but I'm going to use this as the front one of the pages. On the back of this, I have effectively printed out all the journal pages, the design sheets, which are 10, and I have then put the backing pages onto the back of those. You don't have to put them in the order that I've said, but lots of people ask me this question, so I do like to just show it really quickly. So we'll have this one, and on the back of this one, we'll have the pink polka dot. So that's what's going to be on the back of the stocking. I'll put that there. Then I've got this page with the lovely frames, and on the back of that, I'm going to put the cream beige and gold font on there. On the Christmas tree page, I have decided to put the green polka dot on there. So that's what we'll be doing there. And I love this page. It's one of my favorites. With the squirrel and the gorgeous frames, I have put the little rose print on the back with the snowflakes. All right, so that's that one. We've got this with a beautiful poinsettia. On the back of that one, I've gone with the gold again. So there, and then on this lovely framed page, we are going to have the red polka dot on the back there. All right. I hope this is not going too fast for you. Just pause as you're going along. Then we've got this lovely page here. On the back of that, we've got the green again. These will be separated with other pages, so I'll get to that. Then I've got this lovely page, beautiful with a pink background, and I put the tiny little roses on the back of that. All right, so we've got a little robin there, cutie pie, and on the back I've got the pink again. I do love this color. And then on this page with the clock, we've got the small clocks on the back. All right, so that's as far as the actual printed out sheets are concerned. Then I've gathered some other bits and pieces here that I thought people will ask me. I have taken this from one of the Edith Holden books. I'm just going to grab it here so you can see which one it is. It's this one, the Nature Notes of an Edwardian Lady. And I have drawn 2 pages that I'm going to use in there. You guys can use whatever you have. This is what I have. So I've had this actually for over 2 years. I'm using page 177. It's got the December title. It's got some of the bits and comments that Edith Holden has made. And I love it because it's got a beautiful poem here. And a Shakespearean sonnet. And it's also got some mistletoe and a little great tit at the bottom there. On the back of this, love this, and this is probably the reason. I've got a beautiful extract that Edith has put together about the robin. So that's one of the pages I'm going to include. I am planning on putting 2 signatures into this journal. So I needed another page. I've taken this from the same book. This is a beautiful image here. Love that. And then again, we've got the coal and the blue tits over there. It's page 181 if anybody's interested, and then again some lovely Shakespearean and Sir Walter Scott poems on the back. So I've taken those and I'm going to include those in my signatures. The order we put those pages in, I think I will share with you that at the end. We will decorate the pages and I'll show you the page I'm decorating, and then we'll put them, assimilate them all together later on. All right, so if you can go and print those, that's some homework for you. Now I'm going to use doilies in mine. These are the doilies I've chosen. I love this one because of the subtle soft avocado pink color. And I just think because there's a lot of eating and things going on around Christmas, and I have a vintage theme, I'm using some of these. So I'm just showing you, this is from my vintage doily kit, the first one I did. And then this is just some other ones that I've thought about using, and I've got some others. But just bear in mind that don't print these out right yet. I'll show you what I'm going to do with them, and then you can see how we're going to use those. All right. So that's that. I've also included a couple of tea stain pages and a couple of avocado pages. So I'm going to use 4 tea stain pages, 2 for each signature, or coffee stain, whatever you prefer. And then I've got 2 avocado pages as well. Now, if you don't do avocado dyeing, I do have a digital that does both of these, as well as this page here, which is 2 of those I'm adding. I've printed those on both sides. Of course, you don't have to, but this is a kit if you wanted a digital kit if you don't do tea staining or avo staining. So I'm going to have 4 of the tea or coffee stained. I'm going to use 2 of these, and I've printed out 2 of these because I just love this, and I just end up using it as a base for so many things. All right, so that's what we're using as far as the pages are concerned. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 10 that I printed out and showed you earlier. So that's 20 pages. So that's a nice fat Christmas journal. Lots of space to put lots of information, planning, recipes, photos of the day, lots of stuff in there. All right, so that's everything that we're going to use for that. And then what I've got underneath here, for those of you who are members of my Facebook group, I have put a little freebie into my Facebook group. It's just a gathering of a couple of things. So I've got a few cards that I've made up here with some images and some other little fussy cut bits that you can use. Sorry, the tree's on its side, but I just try to fit as much as I could on there. A little poinsettia as well. So there's that. And then I've just put together 4 other sheets. So I've got this lovely tartan sheet. I've got this one which just sort of breaks up the brighter colors. A nice green one as well. And then what I did was I have printed off this onto tea stained paper. It does have a bit of a tinge to it, but I wanted it a little darker. This is just, I wanted a music sheet with a Christmas sort of theme on it, so I have printed this on here. This will end up going into my journal as a journal page. All right, on the back, I chose the tea stain so that the back is tea stained. So I think that possibly I might use 3 of the tea stain pages and 1 of these. Unfortunately, I only got 1, but I don't want to put Silent Night in twice. But, you know, if you've just got plain music sheets of any type, that would work as well. Okay, so I've got that one as well. Let's remember to add that to that pile there. Right, so if you are a member of my Facebook group, and you're welcome to join if you like, I have a link in the description box below. I have this there for you if you're interested in using that at all. Okay, so that's that. Right, guys, we're moving along quickly because I want to try and fit as much into this as possible. I have gone ahead and cut out all the ephemera and the add-on kit stuff from my kits here. So, for example, tags. I've got lots of sizes of tags, larger tags, medium tags, and smaller tags. All the little pockets, all the little stamps, all the bits of ephemera, they're all in here. All right, so I've done just about everything. I've just got to cut out the envelopes, I think. So I've collected that and got it all ready to go. You're welcome to back that up. I usually do that in the evening in front of the telly. So, you know, bits of ephemera like this, I'll end up backing. And I usually back it up with that lacy paper I showed you earlier. So it looks a little bit like this. All right, so there's a little scrap lying here. Okay, so there's another job for you. Got lots of homework this week. Right, now I'm moving over and I've got a huge tray here. All right, so I know you can't see everything, so I'm just going to move it to the side. What else am I going to use? Well, I've been going through all the fabrics, and I do like to include little bits of fabric in my Christmas kits. I have not bought any of this year. In fact, I think these two I used last year. So, or these three, I should say. Oops, that's all falling over. What I'm saying is, some of them are not Christmas. These over here were gifted to me and they're lovely. And I love that one particularly. Go and see what you have. I've just got little scraps here, or fat quarters and stuff like that. So go and just have a look at what you've got. Okay, I don't know how that got in there, but that's from last year. I've got some ticking, some other kind of ticking, and I love this. This is Liberty of London, and I bought this a while ago for a different project I did. And I just love the pink color in here. It goes perfectly, but it's not Christmassy. But that doesn't matter because everything else sort of is. So again, you might not be making a Christmas journal. You might be making just a festive journal, or maybe a floral journal. Just go and gather a couple of bits and pieces. Look at old clothes, look at scarves, things you're not using or ready to give away or throw out. Go and find little bits. You don't need large pieces of fabric at all. All right, so that's the fabric side. Go and gather those bits. I always like to have some butterflies. What am I on? Buttons. So these are from last year, and I know that I'll grab a couple of these and some of my others, but in the themes and the colors that we're working with, whatever that is for you. All right, so go and grab some buttons. I've even got from last year these little buttons that look like snowflakes. Look at that. You know, if that's going to work for you, I might use one or two of those. They're from last year. And anything else that you have embellishment wise. These are little snowflakes that I had, that I used one or two from last year. This is probably going to be available for the next 30 Christmases for me, but anyway, I do like to add one or two sometimes, if that's your thing. And then of course I have already bought my ribbons, so you would have seen this on my Facebook group. I got this from the lovely Vanessa from Plum Boutique. Thank you, Vanessa. And she did help me put together a pack, which I think she might have one or two still there, but it's a selection of all of this really. This one I'm going to use for my cover, so that's a meter of ribbon for the cover. I am thinking of I'm in between whether I'm going to use this sort of gingham for my cover, or if I'm going to just use paper. So I'm in two minds about that at the moment. But yeah, it's all unraveling here. I'll need to sort this out properly. All right, so those are the, whatever you have. If you're using sari ribbon, if you're using any trim that you have, guys, I'm not encouraging you to go and buy stuff. I'm saying to you, go and have a look at what you have. This is what I have, and lots of this are bits and pieces. For example, this I used in my autumn journal, and that sort of a thing. So, you know, go and have a look at what you have. I've used this before as well in my recipe journal. All right, so these are just bits and pieces, and of course I'm sure you've got this twine. Go and have a look and see what you have, because you know, we'll be using some of those. I love using them on tags, and you know, Christmas is a glitzy time, so we want a little bit of glitz, so you can't go wrong with that. Right, so I'm going to just move those out the way. I'm going to get on to the digital die cuts. Of course, this is if you have a die cut machine, and I am sorry, I just don't have time to cut out and sell these in my shop. But so I do apologize for that. Hopefully amongst yourselves, you'd be able to help each other out, I hope. I'm trying to, I would do it myself, but, you know, I'm trying to mark things and just do too much on my plate at the moment. I'm going to be using these skeleton leaves again. I just love these, and Christmas is a leafy time. So I'm going to use these. These are the ones I've had from last year, and I do love these. This one's called Garden Greens, and I sort of like particular ones here. That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites. And at Christmas, I like to use these as well. This is Holiday Greens, I think. Holiday Greens. That one I love. I've used all of these before. I've even used these separate holly leaves when I made a tag. You know, you can do so much with that. I love that one. And then this is one that I've had for a while, but I haven't used it as much as I want to. And a wreath die. You can pick these up. They don't have to be Sizzix. You know, pretty cheap on eBay as well, and I might use that for a project or two as well. Right, so those are the dies. These are ones I had, so I haven't gone and bought those. Then just some cheapy dies that I do use, and I put them in here because they really just came from eBay, and I need to find a proper pouch for them. So until then, they're in this small plastic folder. Right, so the one that I like off here is this little bauble one. I do find this one really useful, and I love using that. So we might, I'm not saying I will, but this was just a cheapie I got off eBay, a little bauble die. And then snowflakes, also a cheap one, but I've actually ordered the Sizzix one now. Sometimes these aren't always the best, and I struggle with them. They are just different size snowflakes, and I see that Tim Holtz has actually brought out various sizes of snowflakes. I don't tend to use that one really, but I do tend to use these and like to lay them up. But I have just ordered the Sizzix one, which is in my favorite lists on Amazon if you're interested. So I'm waiting for that to arrive tomorrow. Okay, so that's everything that I'm going to use as far as I can think of. There might be the odd bits and pieces, like a little bit of embroidery thread or whatever, but you know, these things come up as I'm thinking about what I want to do. Right, I'm going to just grab my mat here quickly. I want to share with you a little project that I had, I'm going to include in my journal. And as I've said when I was paging through my sunflower journal, that this was actually inspired by Carol from Oak House Journals. Go and have a look at Carol's gorgeous channel and all the very inspiring things that she makes. Now, what I am doing is I have printed off this page here. I do find this useful for a lot of things. So I've got that like that. Now I have done the following, but this is not a must. I have printed this lacy page on the back. You don't have to do that at all. You can just fill it in or stencil on the back here. It's up to you. So you need one of these pages. It doesn't matter if it's a US size or an A4 size. It really doesn't matter. The principle will work for any size and the end result will be just perfect. All right, so what I want to do is I want to just start at the bottom here. I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to just take a ruler's width at the bottom here. Yeah, and I should have really just turned this. Let's just do it this way. No, where's the right way first? Okay, that's the upright position, so I do need to be mindful of that. So I'm going to turn it like this. I'm looking to draw a line on the bottom of the page. All right, so that's going to be the correct way up. It's just because I'm easier with my hand. So I'm just taking a ruler's width, which I think is about an inch. Just going to see. Yeah, it's an inch, 2.5 centimeters, and I've just drawn a score line there before I fold it over. Yes, I have got that right. So it's at the base of your page. Right, going to turn that. Oh, let's get to that. do it. Just do it. Got to just remember the order of things here. All right, so we are, sorry, my hands are in a bad way today. My daughter needs to come and sort that out. And I just didn't have, I've got to go and get her shortly. So I'm trying to fit everything in. Right, so we've got that done. Now I want to grab my pencil, which is, where is the pencil? I had it a minute ago. Oh, here it is. Okay, what we want to do now is we want to ascertain the middle here, and I don't want to fold it. So I'm just going to bend it like that. Yeah, I'm going to just point it a little bit, and while I point it, I'm just making a pencil mark here. All right, so there's a pencil mark in the middle there. It's just for me to know where that is. Right, fold your base bit down again. Now what I want to do is I want to measure 1.5 inches from each side. That equates to 4 centimeters. Yeah, let's do that. And I want to just score that on each side here. So I've got 1.5 inches across, or 4 centimeters. Turn it around. Oh, yeah. And we'll do the same here. So we've got, lining it up on my board, that's 1 inch, that's 1.5 inches. And we want to just get that straight. So let's just score that like that. Okay. So now we can just fold this to the center. Give it a nice score line. Right, and then we're going to do the same on this side. Just make sure that you get it nice and level there. Right, give it a nice burnish. Okay, and now where you've got your little mark just over there, and we'll rub it out in a minute, I want you just to fold this over like that. All right, meet up each side so it's nice and straight, and then fold it to the middle like that. Okay, and then you're going to take this one again and do exactly the same. Make sure you get it nice and flush at the top there, and it's nice and meeting up perfectly in the middle. And when you've got it like that, burnish that one as well. Okay, right, so we've got it meeting perfectly here in the middle, and all our fold lines are now made. So we can just open that all up. Okay, now what I want to do is return this to the side again, and what I want to do is I'm going to just, the board is a bit small, I want to, the fold line here, I'm going to draw a little line, not all the way across, but I'm just lining that up nicely there. So by doing that, I get it exactly where I want it. Now, the fold line over here, so not the first one, the second one here, which is hard to see, and that's why I'm drawing it with pencil. Okay, and then the same, not the first one, the second one over here. Right, and then just lift that up to make sure you've got it in the crease. We want to just draw a line like that. You don't have to draw it, it's just so that I can show you where these lines are. So it's not the first fold, it's the second fold. Yeah, and if you're not sure where that is, then you can just lift it up like I am. All right, and then the same over here, the second one. Okay, so we've got our lines drawn there, and I want to put a cross there, and we've got our 2 lines drawn there, and the reason I've got a cross is because I want to cut those out. All right, so you can take your scissors or your craft knife. I'm going to use my craft knife, which is fine, and then just the left of this fold line, so on this side of the fold line, I want to just cut out this section here. Let's close the blade. Right, we are ready to go. We're almost done. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue here, and then just put a little bit of glue just on this edge there and on the edge there. And we're going to just fold that up and make a little pocket. Now there's a little pocket. It's just really a resting place, because you could put like a tag or a piece of ephemera in there. So that's all it is. It's just to hold it in place. And then what we want to do is we want to take a glue again. We want to just put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here, and we want to fold that in as well. All right, so this is just a little tuck spot here. If you wanted to tuck in some secret note or something, you could stick those down if you want. If you didn't want pockets there, that would be fine too. But I quite like a secret storage zone in anything, so you know, for me, I go for that. All right, so let's turn that down. Now, as I said to you earlier, if you don't do double-sided printing, or you know, just aren't able to print on both sides, you could actually just fill in this area over here. All right, you could just stick a piece of paper over here, and you could stick one on the sides as well if you liked. But there we go, we've got that there. This is now going to be a nice little gatefold, which is perfectly lined up. I just want to make sure I've got my bits nice and flat since I've glued them down. Right, and by cutting just on the inside of those lines, you are not going to go into those fold lines, so that's going to lie pretty flat. All right, so when you open it up, you've got that lovely area there, and Carol was so clever to put this together. All right, so it's a perfect spot just to house a little tag, a journal card, or any other ephemera bit, which I'm not going to do today. Right, now I've got a little bit of a band to go on here. Really quick, I've cut out one of my circles from my ephemera pack. You won't believe it, but I freehanded this whole lot. So there is a line around the image, and then I backed it onto the green version of this and just put it on there to give it a bit of a framework, and I freehanded that, so I was quite impressed. And now I've taken, I think this is an inch wide, 2 inches wide. All right, I folded it in half because I don't want it to be white on the inside, but also I don't want it to be just paper thin. This is 160 GSM paper, or 60-pound weight if you're in the States or Canada. All right, so what I'm going to do here is just going to put some glue on this, the whole length of it, making a bit of a band here. So we'll just put some glue all the way down. You could stitch around it as well. I'm not going to do that, but you could. There we go, and I'll probably ink around it, but yeah, where's my little Dobby ink thing? Oh, here we go. All right, so I've got my oxide, and I've got these, which I'm loving. I got them off eBay. They are my new faves, and I bought 10 of them, and I think the whole thing came to £6 with postage. So, and they are working a treat. I recommend them. So sorry, Tim Holtz, I've moved on, because they're so expensive, those Tim Holtz ones, and the little bits of sponge come off all the time and annoy me. So when a lady in the Facebook group recommended these, I went for it. And they're makeup sponges, they're not crafting goodies, but good spot. Right, gonna just put that there. Got this now. I'm going to use this as the front. I'm going to use that as the back. And what I want to do is I'm going to just lay this on my table. This is the full sheet of my paper. I might need to trim off some, but I've just taken the full length of paper, measured 2 inches, and cut that piece off. Now what I want to do is, and I think I'll be good to myself and use this, you don't have to make this loose. You could actually make, well, let's not... I want to stick it onto the back of my thing. If you're wanting to slide this off and make it loose, you can do so. Right, so I think I'm going to just gauge it here. So I'm just winging it. I'm going to put some glue on the back here, like that. And this is the back, so now I'm still just keeping this on my page just to keep it straight, and then I am just gauging this, so I think that's about it. Yeah, doesn't matter if it's a little long or whatever. I think I will have to end up trimming it off. Right, so we've got that there, so we can turn that over now. And now I'm just taking my bone folder and I'm going to just score a line there and score a line here. That's just going to make it easier to fold. All right, so we'll just fold that over like that and give it a little burnish. Got to burnish it. And then this one as well, I'll fold that over, make sure it laps nicely here. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put that on top there, so I don't want it to stick out, so I'm going to cut it off at this point here. There we go. Doesn't really matter which way you do which. It's a bit like the tea. Do you put in the milk first or do you put in the tea first, you know? And we won't even go there. Right, so we've got that one at the bottom. That one's going to go on the top, and I'm going to stick this one and hopefully get it central. Hopefully. So I'll put some glue onto this like this. And I'm only sticking it on here because you don't want to glue this. It'll end up sticking these two together. All right, so hold this with your finger, and my fingers are not in a good state, guys, so I do apologize. I broke 3 nails and it was very sore. So yeah, they're looking dismal, but Paigey will fix them for me. Give me a nice manicure in a bit. Right, so I've got that there like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab my little Velcro dots, and so I just got my little dots here. Got these forever, I suppose. It's like so many. I'm going to just stick one on the top here, so it doesn't really matter where you stick it, on there. And then I've got the other fluffier one. These are so handy. You get clear ones as well, but because I have a trillion, I'm not going to buy any more. So I've got the other side on there. Now it's just a case of hold that down firmly, and let's just press it over, and there you have it. All right, so that can go into your journal after I've inked it and done my thing, and perfect. That also make a lovely gift card thing. You could also put a card in here, a check, money, a note, a gorgeous tag, anything like that. It's lovely and flat. Look how flat that is. Yeah, so that's going to look great in our journal, and that's thanks to the lovely Carol at Oak House Journals. You've got your Velcro bit there, and that opens up nicely, and there we've got our little tag that can house itself. Now I haven't backed the tag, but I'll just give you a little idea. I haven't put card or anything on this, but you could put that in there, and look, that's going to fit perfectly. So you could write a lovely message on there, or even one of the journal cards, anything you want to, you know, or even an envelope or a letter. So I think that's really lovely, and I love that idea. So there we go. That's our little project for today. So guys, thank you so much for sticking by me. I hope you enjoyed the quick little project. I've given you so much to get on with, so I'm hoping that when I see you next time, which will be Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending where you live, that we will start again and do something exciting on our very first page. All right, so thank you as always. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, please leave it in the comments below. If you would like to join the Facebook group, the link is in the description box below. And if you like the video, please feel free to give it a like or a dislike. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.